All right, guys. I believe this should be recording. Recording. Yep, recording has started. All right. Okay, boys. I kick it off. So I was out. Oh, actually, funny enough, I was out at New Year's Eve dinner, and just talking at the table, eating all those delicious meats, uh, and having a conversation, talking about sort of our first session and our second session coming up, and a comment's made like, "Oh, you're doing it over the holiday? You're doing it on January 2nd?" I said, "Yeah." I mean, I would never work for you. It's like, you're right. You would never work for me for sure. And two, nobody works for me. Everybody works with me, right? And when I look at people like that have that mentality, those are the guys that they're oh, it's 5 o'clock, I'm done, or they can't find the time. If you can't find the time, and I use the example of our group, which we're going to be talking about. Um, our WhatsApp group, the Avail group, is kind of the catalyst that's going to keep this thing going. It's going to get a lot tighter, like I said in the first seminar, but the importance of it is it's holding people accountable. And the other very important factor in that group is you must participate, right? And so people are busy. I promise you, nobody's busier than me. Nobody's busier than Chris. Nobody's busier than Zorn, Nick, anybody. Everybody's busy. Everybody's handling their business, taking care of business. If you can't find 5 minutes, like you're taking a shit, I guarantee you that you're scrolling through your phone. I see you looking at my stories or whatever, right? Like you're on there. So if you don't have that ability or need or even feel like you should be connecting with the group, yet want the support from the group, like I said before, right? The group will be short-lived for those people. It just doesn't operate that way, right? And it's going back to working for me, working with me. One of the great things about starting this brokerage and doing things exactly how I want to do them is I've always worked that way. Lead from the front, and the people I work with are my, that's the team, that's the family. Nobody works for anybody, man. Lead from the front. I don't ask anybody to do anything that I'm not doing. I ask you for your goals. I'm up at 5 a.m, prepping for this stuff, and it's not for any other reason other than that's what you do for your team. That's what you do for your people. That's what you do for your brothers, your sisters, your family. That's not man shit, right? And it's not posturing. It's not anything. The funny thing is it's the stuff that's done in the dark at 5 a.m. or in the evening while you're building something, or you're working, or you're doing something for your family, your friends, your people, your team. Showing up when you feel like shit to sparring sessions because one of your guys has got a fight coming up and you may never fight again or don't have a fight. That's that man shit. That's that stuff that people don't see, but your tribe does, and that's what strengthens your tribe. And as a leader, and I expect all people in my business and this team and this group to be leaders, right? I won't always have the answer, and you got to be able to lean on people for that stuff. And then what we do in this group is we build leaders. We hold each other accountable. We do things like this. And this will be the most important hour you spend today, probably other than time with your kids and family. This is going to be the thing that's going to make their lives better. So, with that, don't look at things there's no other word for me to call it, but it's like this slave mentality. Oh, that's a holiday. Oh, it's 9 a.m. Fuck, man. You can't even call yourself a man if you're fucking laying in bed still. That's a bitch move. Excuse my language, but that's what that is. You're a bitch, man. And you know what I mean? And those are the same people that are complaining because they're not getting sex from their wives. They're not, people don't respect them. They're not moving up in the world. Fuck, dude, why should you? You're promised nothing. You're given nothing. You're given nothing but your balls and your ability to adapt, grow, overcome, and fucking smash. That's it. Those are the only things that you're promised. So with that, that's the start of session 2. And it's let's get started. Again, from the aspect of leading from the front, I'm going to show you exactly how we break down those goals. You've got your 7 on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got the 7 and my 8th you'll see at the end. You guys have yours. Please feel free to sort of work along with this. I've got mine, and I'll hold it up to the camera, but mine is broken down, and they're broken down individually. I'm going to share this afterwards so that you're able to really break these down. But there's no better way for me to kind of go through this and teach you how to do it than to use my own and walk through them, explain why I do them this way, why they work, and we kind of go from there. So my goals, again, just a recap on them, and then you'll see how they're broken down. I'm the rock of my happy and healthy family. My huge brokerage generates $5 million annually for charity. My family and I travel the world together. I am fit, flexible, strong, and healthy. I have the #1 human optimization business in the world. I complete, one amazing adventure per year. My wife and I are deeply connected. And then finally, which is all wrapped up, I impact millions of lives around the world. Those seem like big goals, man, because I'm going to do them. That's what it is. There's no other option. Speaking of this, look, beautiful, supportive wife, bringing in some mullein leaf tea. You're a saint. Say hi to the boys.
Hi, everyone.
And the green dream. Thank you. All right. So what do? We need to break them down. We need them to be measurable. So my first page, goal setting session 2, 2023 on the top. My first goal, to be the rock of my happy and healthy family. So I'm breaking this down quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily, and then an activity. Okay. You can't fuck it. You have to have it written down this way. You have to have them, and I'm going to show you how you break them up. So quarterly, in order for me to, lead this beautiful family from the front, my quarterly goal is 3 big memory moments. Okay. And now those big memory moments are the things, and the way I like to think of it is these are the things that, when you get older, you just remember like that trip here, that really fun time playing, whatever it is. They're big memory moments, man. These are things that are going to be burned into the psyche of your family. And then when I break that quarterly down again, it's to make sure I provide stability, love, and leadership while providing these meaningful events per quarter that my family's going to love. It's just as simple as that. Right? And that's going to come down to this planning where I'm going to break those up and I'm going to figure what those are. And they're going to be written on this wall in front of me. And I'm going to hold myself accountable to them. Then I go down to monthly. So one trip, experience, or memorable day a month, my kids and wife will hold dear. So that's going to be planned. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough to figure out 3 different things every single month. But I might do them by the quarter, right? So I'm going to say, you know what, I'm taking my daughter to Dave and Buster's. We're going to do some crazy date night with my wife, and take my son. I don't know, going shooting and doing something cool. So that's going to be that. It's going to be set. I'm going to one of the keys to this, in order for me to be the rock, is I've got to hold myself accountable. So I'm going to maintain my discipline and self-care protocols to show up as the best version of myself daily for them. I can have all the great intentions in the world and take your kids to Dave and Buster's, let them spend whatever they want. Trust me, I've been that guy. But if I'm not maintaining my discipline and I'm not making sure that I'm up, getting to sleep, doing the diet, and all the things that I need to do, it's going to be bullshit time anyways, right? You can spend all kinds of money, but if you're not present or the kids don't feel you're healthy and happy, it's not good. Then that goes down monthly again to lead by example in diet, exercise, and lifestyle, right? Part of being the rock of your family is, that do as I say, not as I do. That shit doesn't work with anybody, especially kids, right? From 0 to 7, they're basically taking in everything like a sponge in this frequency. Their brains activate or running on this frequency. They're just taking things in. They're becoming the people they're going to be. And they're watching. They're not listening to what you say. They're watching. They're feeling how your presence. They're feeling your vibrations. They're feeling your energy. It's like people don't fight in front of their kids, or they have these shitty relationships, and they whisper fight in the kitchen. The kids feel that shit from the other room. That's just a fact. So no judgments. Just saying, this is all for me. So this is what I'm holding myself accountable to. From monthly, I go down to weekly. So one date with each of my loved ones. Okay, so that's a week. So tea house with my daughter, get dressed up. My son, it can be anything. Go to wrestling. Go take him to jiu-jitsu, just something fun, right? And then make it special on the way home, or do something cool. Now daily, I break down to daily now for this rock. One loving or motivational video or note per day. And I've been doing that, and it holds a lot of weight. I write these little love notes or something to my wife, or I send videos. I'm sure some of you have gotten my videos. Dude, this is what it is, man. It's like, and it, literally, I explain how easy it is, but, and then one-on-one presence. So that's going to be some time. And that's just not like, oh yeah, I should be more present. This is the fucking time. From 7:15 to 7:30, I'm all in on Marvel with my son in his bed or whatever, right? But it's got to be in the books. It's got to be measured. If it doesn't in the calendar, it doesn't exist. And then the activity after daily takes 2 minutes. Back to my point again, 7:15 a.m. I am shooting video and writing notes. I'll tell you, I just beside the fridge, I found a little thing of all the notes I've written my wife. That's the kind of stuff that matters, right? And it seems like it's nothing. It's probably not the love language that works for any of us, but it's important. So figure out what that thing is and shoot some videos, man. Spread some love in the morning. I'm riding around shooting videos of people in the car. I don't care. It starts people's day off, and it seems funny. And it seems funny to record yourself, but when you actually, I get the messages back, and people are like, "Shit, man! Like that just made my day," or that was, you know what I mean? And if that's the worst thing that you do, or you spend 2 minutes doing that every single day, man, you'll be brightening up somebody's life, right? You never know what someone else is going through, how they're feeling. So just be about that life. So that is the first, and that is my first. I'm the rock of my happy and healthy family. Now I'm moving on to my huge brokerage generates $5 million annually for charity. Now this took 2 pages. This gets dialed down. I hold it I'm very responsible for each and every one of you that are on my team and work with me. It's an honor, obviously, but it's also a big commitment. And this is, if I want to hit these goals, which I will. I shouldn't say even want. It's not even a want. It's just going to happen. That involves me building up everyone else around me, supporting everyone else around me. You're not doing any of this shit alone. It's like Nick, we use the analogy for fighting or anything, right? The guy's in there by himself, but it took 12, 15 people, 6 weeks,
get him there.
Yeah. 8 weeks, 10 weeks to get him there, right? So you're in there with all those people, standing behind you in reality, in spirit. So this goes down to being really breaking it down. So beside this charity, beside this big goal is 8 years. Others have built their brokerages to half that size in 40. We're going to do this shit in 8 years. That's $50 million in recurring gross written revenue. Okay. And so what does that mean? Well, we got to break these numbers down quarterly. So we need to produce as a group 1.2 mil every quarter. Okay. So now how do I get that in the quarter, right? I ensure I'm building the team. I'm adding 5 solid Avalians, Chris, per quarter. At this rate, plus acquisitions, 8 years, 50 mil recurring rev, which produces $5 million to charity. Okay. Now another one in the quarter is opening up Florida in Q2 and Texas in Q4. So as we move into the US, I'm going to be opening up these other brokerages or the Avail brand in 2 red states. One happens to have Sikh Jiu-Jitsu and the other happens to have Sikh Jiu-Jitsu. Both are very, very red and very conservative, and both places that I want to own homes in and have thriving businesses. Luckily, I've got Lazar in Florida to run one of the flags, and Texas. We'll see. We'll see if Zoran fits nicely into cowboy boots. Who knows, right?
Actually, it's funny. It's one of my goals, so we'll talk about that another time.
There you go. Now we go to monthly for this. Okay. So all producers, now this is where you got to get drilled down. And so for Chris and you guys that are business owners, we know what our goals are as leaders in a company, but they need to trickle down and they need to be tangible and they need to tie in with the goals for your teammates, right? So this is open discussion. This goes into other sections where I'll be working with the guys and it's like, this is what the goals are, guys. Can we hit them? Let me show you how we hit them, right? We don't want to scare anybody with numbers. This can all be done. All producers close a big pot per month. It's a $150,000 revenue deal a month. Completely possible. Done it for years. That right there is on the bar, man. And we're gonna figure out how to get there. And it's just reverse engineering. It's simple numbers. It's simple. It's effort, numbers, and closing ratios, and it can be done. Making them $1.8 million producers turning each into millionaires within 5 years. So my goals for you become goals for the organization, become goals for the world. Okay. All of this can be done. You got two options, man. But as the president of that last company, I would do $700,000, $800,000 a year in sales revenue, like just myself. And I was running 150 people. So imagine what you can do when all you're doing is that, not doing it part-time. So these numbers are they're doable. I will teach you how to do them for the new guys, and it's going to be fantastic. Monthly, another goal, create equity within the ground floor team. So everybody, we've got our goals, we've got our time, and this is how we get to the equity piece, right? Because these ground floor people that are in for year one, I want them to all have a piece of this business. Of course, nothing is given, but I'm sure it will be earned. So that's worked out in the goals as well. Build leaders within the team. Monthly leadership. The Avail Academy is going to have the monthly leadership training. So I know, and part of being a leader, part of setting goals, and part of living your goals are understanding your people. And I know Junaid is going to become an incredible leader. It's one of his goals. I know, not from the goals that we're sharing. I just know from, being his professor in jiu-jitsu, speaking with him, and being a brother of mine. I know what he wants. And selfishly, that's an incredible goal of his. That is a goal of mine. Because, the more, you're not a leader unless you create other leaders. And when I'm looking at people, that I want in my business and I want to be leading and doing these things, character, moral compass, fucking loving human, badass, hard worker. These are the traits, man. And that's what you want to surround yourself with. So it's my job to give him everything he needs so that he can take that, run with that, and become the leader that I know he'll be. And I'm just using him as one example. I could use any of you. So now Academy sales modules for the team monthly. So again, right, we don't ask for numbers. We don't ask for our teams to do great things or our families to change overnight. We don't do any of that without providing first more than enough resources for them. You can't be pissed off at people that don't hit numbers as a leader in your business. You got to understand, no one, and I had to learn this the hard way, actually, nobody is going to work as hard as you for your business. And I used to be, I guess, I had an ownership stake in that last business, but I had money vested and all these things, but I used to work like a fucking animal. And I used to look around and be like, dude, why aren't these guys, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you pumped about this? Why don't you want to do more and be more and make more? And you know what I mean? Oh, I'm going to be the president in 4 years. Fuck you. Less than 2. Let's go. I had the Christmas party picked out. I was the only one that knew I was going to be walking around like the belle of the ball at that Christmas party. And motherfucker, I did. And that's exactly how it happened. And it was a great night. So, but back to my point, nobody's going to work hard for you unless you're working hard for them. So it's not what can you do for me? It's let me fucking serve the shit out of you and have you become the best version of yourself so that together we can hit these goals. And I promise you, that's how you build these long relationships, how you build an army of people. Because you know what? They know where you brought them in life and they appreciate that. So that's the monthly sales modules. We're not asking anybody to do stuff without being trained the best training in the country in North America. And then one-on-one mentor hours monthly, and that's with all my people. So again, right, time is the most valuable commodity. How else can I prove your worth to me and your value in this company without me giving of my time? And the last module or last seminar I talked about, I know the exact dollar value of my time. So and I'm giving it and willing to give it freely to anybody because you know what? It's like we have more warriors out in the world. We have more people doing good things and building beautiful businesses and amazing things. Man, everybody's better off, right? And now we go to weekly. Cultivate. So this is where it gets to the numbers again. 10 prospects, new prospects every week, mid-size, and 2 whales, 100 plus in premium. Okay. So that we will break down as a team. We won't dive too deep into it now, but this is how we're going to be doing our goals as a group. Setting concrete weekly plans. Okay. And that's for me to monitor, review, discuss, so many guys start their day as we see, right? That 90, whatever, man, probably 99% just show up. All right, what am I doing today? They don't show up with the plan. They don't check the plan. They don't correct the plan, move the plan, modify the plan, increase it. They don't do any of that stuff. And then that in this group, that will never happen because we've got the Avail Academy WhatsApp group. And that means, we'll minimize kind of the stuff. We have fun on the holidays and just talk shit and all those great things. We'll minimize that though. There'll be as much or more activity, but it will be very, very targeted activity. Post something that's going to motivate the shit out of people, chase people down. Where's Richard's gallon of water? I want to see that jug too. I want everybody to be happy, healthy, vibrant, and rocking. So that's what that group's going to be used for. Listen, correct, and train. So that's for me as well, right? It's sort of what people don't say that ends up becoming the true message in between. It's like the message in the silence. So that's for me to listen. It's for me to, hopefully give my 20 years of experience in what I do to the guys that are just coming in so that they can be better than me in 5. You know what I mean? Like that's the job. And it's the training and the mentorship. And then another one is the Friday roundup session. That's all staff. That's the lessons that we've learned, the hurdles that we've jumped, and finally the big wins for the week. And those wins, man, they're not just monetary, right? They're going to be the wins, and we'll share them in this group too. That might be me, like, you know what I mean? Staying the hell off those carbs that are so bad for my body, or, the more water, or whatever it is. It's going to be something but we're celebrating all of them, man, big and small, because you don't get to the big wins without a ton of small wins throughout the week, right? I think that's just a fact. Mullen leaf tea, so good. Daily. We're breaking it down to the daily now for the guys. 50 cold calls, 4 of those being whales. And I'm going to tell you a Junaid story, just because he's, he works with us. Came in, sort of pre-licensed, schooling, pre-everything, comes to the office. What am I doing today? Well, my brother, here's the script. Here's what we're doing. You're going to make 30 calls today. All right. We agreed on it. He's going to make 30 calls. It goes in another office. He's smashing all the phones. I think by midday, I'll tell you the number we got, which is incredible, but I'll tell you what meant the most to me. We were done the day. We were getting ready to be finished the day, and I gave him an out. I said, man, what are you at? I'm at 27 calls. If you want to leave, we're going to pack up and go. You want to go? I know we were going to a meeting. We had something to do. Man, feel free, go home. It's like, nah, man, I'm not leaving until I hit those 30 calls. That was like, boom, he gets it. All right, sweet. You can, I mean? Give a man an out, right? If he wants to take it, let him go. If he wants to tap, let him tap, right? Give him that option. No tapping us, though. He ends up booking 4 meetings in 30 calls in his first day ever in the office, okay? I think 2 of them are in market now. One we're going to do, I've been kind of pushing them off. We've got one we're doing in July. So I wanted him to be licensed so we could get paid on them, right? And I ran with them while he was in Morocco. But it didn't matter. I would have none of those opportunities for him. So I was able to serve him, do what I do best, line him up, close him up, get him ready while he's in Morocco, because, it was before he was fully able to invest his time with the company. Didn't matter, man. He did the work. He got him. Boom. We could have closed before he got his license. I'm like, there's 2 X dates. Boom. Moved it to the back X stage to get paid on it. It's beautiful. Moral of the story is, he said 30, he did 30. That's it. And it worked. So the 50 calls, open dialogue. Well, the boys are working, everybody's working. It's like, what worked, what didn't, that's them to each other, me, everyone involved. Add 25 prospects on LinkedIn a day. That's the max. I've never been, my prospect, my LinkedIn is filled sort of like, insurance company presidents and different people, because that's sort of what I need to do in order for us to have markets and work deals and build programs. But I will be adding more of my whales on there. And then, for you guys, it's, if you're Nick's doing construction, Junaid's international, Junaid, every top Muslim business leader in friggin' Canada should be added, 25 a day to yours. Nick should be on every Pollock construction workers LinkedIn, loving their stuff, boom, boom, you know what I mean? Hyping people up, and we're just going to do it. it's not, I've seen too many people, I will say this, I see too many people hide behind computers and, oh, I added somebody on LinkedIn today. Well, I didn't really do shit. That's just kind of like, just do that. Don't talk about it. Just do it, build it. The calls are where it happens. The door knock is where it happens. Yeah, so that's basically it. I've obviously got to create valuable content constantly. So I'm recording this. I'm going to be shooting some videos today, some great sales stuff and some other things that you guys are going to be able to use. And I've got to create that value daily. So that's something that I've got to do. So that'll be a block in my calendar where I'm shooting content. And it's going to be content for leadership, content for optimization, content for the academy, or content for just for the sales guys to help them. The activity, build in and honor your prospecting time. So that's it, man. That's holy time. That's daily. That's never a waiver. It gets real easy. As human beings, we want the easy, the easier path, right? Prospecting is hard. It's hard because, we don't like to be rejected. There's all kinds of psychological reasons why people find it hard. It should be fun. We'll arm you with the best stuff possible that you're going to be crushing everybody anyway, so don't worry about it. But it doesn't matter. It's like reps in the gym. Just fucking do it. Just do it. Whatever that thing is. So, Chris, if that's for you, you're looking for new hygienist, or you got the new hygienist. It's like, you might not want to go over something with him, or you've done it a million. Just do it. Set the reps. Put it in your calendar. It's non-negotiable. Just fucking do it. It's like stepping in that water tank. John Harvey knows. It's like stepping in that tank. You sit there like a bitch. You put your toe in. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Or just get in it. Just get in it. You're gonna feel that anyways. May as well get it over with and embrace it. So that's the activity. And then just pick up the phone is the final one on that one. Just pick up the phone and do it. Just jump in the water. Just slap, bump, and fucking roll. There's no two ways about it. All right. Family and I travel the world together. Okay. And I want you guys to see while I'm doing this, how I'm intertwining family with growing the business, with, everything else that is sort of life, because you don't get to, you need to be a bit of a workaholic, especially when you're starting out doing anything. And I don't even call it workaholic. It's all, my whole life blends together beautifully, right? So if I haven't seen the kids come in and I teach jiu-jitsu and they're on the mats, or, I go, I never took vacations ever for years and years and years. That's how you get to the top. But what I did do is whenever I had to travel to speak, do seminars around North America, present to Intersure, do whatever I was doing, I bring my wife. I tack on 2 on the front, 2 on the back. We've seen all kinds of places together. Did the same thing when I was fighting. My wife came everywhere with me, right? I'd be cutting weight. She'd be sitting on the hotel bed, drinking champagne and having fun, right? It's just like, you just got to do lots of fun stuff together, blend it and make it work. Either that, or you're going to be breaking down relationships, right? But I find people use that shit. Weak people use that as an excuse, right? Where they're like, I just want to, I need more time. I need this, I need that. You can have it all. You just got to be smart about it, blend it together, and kind of let all your worlds bleed into each other. It's going to get you into a good spot. So my family and I travel the world together. All right, quarterly, involve the family on business trips. So this year, next one is Cayman Islands, to set up a captive for us. So, right, go with the wife to Cayman Islands. Complete write-off. It's business, beautiful. Texas, take the family. That's really fun, right? We'll go sit up in Texas. Florida, I got to go out to Florida. I'll fly out to Florida. Lazar's getting some people together for me. We're going to get some brick and mortar out in Florida. Well, guess what is in Orlando? Disney. The whole family's going, right? We'll smack some Disney in there. We'll get some brick and mortar, and we'll launch a Vail in Florida. And then Nashville, because that's where my partners are head office are in the States. We're going to be back and forth there all the time. Nicole loves it, country music, all those things. So just pop them on the flights. And the magic of owning a business is that it's a write-off. We just make sure that all those meals were business meals, and that nice hotel is for the purpose of business. But again, that's a lot of travel in a year, right? Every other month I'm somewhere, but I'll be bringing my family. So it's not going to be taxing. It's going to be great memories, which goes back again to the family, building the memories and doing cool stuff. Well, I'm still achieving the goals that will actually help them in the long run. So I can travel 4 places, of which one's international, all full write-offs while building the business, as I just said. Monthly, that's going to be planning around school, vacation time. Obviously, some stuff's just not going to work out. You got to go when you got to go, but whenever you can, obviously, make those things fun and involve the family. Weekly, that's research, plan the meetings, and then work with my wife to plan the family fun. Obviously, involving them is your wife in as many things as you can is good. Daily is to grind, because you can't do any of this shit if you're not grinding. You don't get to open up in Florida if you're not working hard in Canada. And then the action is just booking them. So some are going to be longer than others. Some are going to be very simple. Here's another long one. I find whenever it comes to business, money, or the physical, you got to dial it in a little bit more, right? A lot of stuff can be based on feelings and different things, but I'm fit, flexible, strong, and healthy. Those are big keys, man. Thanks to Nick, I'm going to be in there with that doc in Burlington. That's a Jan thing. And so I'm keeping myself accountable quarterly. Have one jiu-jitsu competition or Muay Thai fight a quarter. So I'll probably go 1, 2, 1, 2. And that just, all that's going to do is just try and keep me get back in, and then stay in fight shape. Just stay ready. Not going to be fucking wars. There's going to be no belts. But you know what I mean? I'll go collect some golds. Right before COVID, right? I did the Budo. I was gold at my weight and silver and absolute. It's good, man. Black belt, just keep fucking fighting people. There's lots of good guys. It just keeps you motivated. For me, anyways, I've trained for so long. I find that when I've got something to do, I'm just like, it makes it more fun. You're working towards things. It's just another goal. Full blood work and body composition check, stool, everything with that doc. That's quarterly as well. You know what I mean? If we're fine tuning the machine and we need the machine to operate at a high level in order to achieve all these monster goals, we're not fooling around, right? Let's see where we're at. Okay, this is low, that's high. Let's measure it. Let's measure our visceral fat to see, the stuff that you can't see naturally, because that's the stuff that'll kill you anyway. Let's measure that, man. And that's putting some money, some time, and some effort into what is probably the most important thing you're going to do. And Richard, I know, and I know that your brother's on you about the water and all those things, man. And we will stay on you and everyone else, and you stay on me, because I eat like shit sometimes, or lots of the time too. But it's just so important, because I think, as we all know, right, without that vehicle to drive you, when you're sick, it's done, man. I got whatever, I was sick that day with the sweat and I was out. Man, this business, I've been building this business for a year, and alone in the darkness, silently, you know what I mean? I've had great supporters like John and Bing and all of you, and you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it was like those 12-hour days and flying all over the States and working these deals out and getting these merch, doing all this stuff. It was a solo mission, right? And then just to launch the business, I met Mike, sort of, he came in a few months before the launch, and that helped. It was nice to have somebody sort of sitting across from you, putting in the effort and all those things, and got Junaid and all the boys going, and Lazar. I think Lazar might have been the first guy on the team, but anyways, awesome, right? And it's good to have your friends helping you. But I learned quickly when I got sick, and everyone gets sick, but I'm like, oh shit, man, I can't even get out of bed. And that's a scary feeling when it's a new business that's launched and you got like 100 things to do. It made me realize quickly that you got to take this stuff seriously and put a lot of effort into your health, which we already know, but we get laxed. So yeah, the blood work monthly. Make sure all weight, distance, skill level, reps are 10% greater than last month. Okay, so if it's 40 push-ups, if it's 100 push-ups that I'm doing every single morning, while I'm warming up, it's going to be 110, man. It's going to go up. We're going to just keep increasing them, right? I think 10% is a good amount, because I know when I add weight at the gym and different things, right? When you jump it up and you have a lot of pre-workout and you just feel like you're fucking monster that day, I find like I get sore joints and all kinds of things. So it's scalable, it keeps you motivated, and you keep checking boxes, which is, again, just strengthening your resolve. Weekly, hit 2 Muay Thai, 1 boxing, 2 jits, and teach twice a week. That's going to keep me on my martial arts level, right? I'm going to be training in full time at MAFA with Justin and Crew G and the boys, Roberto, for boxing, and not at Matador anymore. I spent like 15 years there since it was opened, right? And it's just fucking far. It's far, man. And I've been like the only warrior the only OG, like original, that still drives 2 hours, like, 45, 50 minutes one way, 50 minutes back to train 2 hours. It's like 4 hours out of my day. And it's just, so obviously I'll still always be, master bearing black belt and all those things and be at everything I can be at. But it really came down to making kind of not a hard decision, because obviously I talked about it with Jesse, and he's been a brother of mine for 15 years. He got it right. Most of the people were like, "Oh shit, I can't believe you still do this," right? And I'm teaching in Brampton twice a fucking week minimum too, right? And I got to drive on the 407 because it's right at rush hour. It's like costing me like $60 in 407 tolls to go teach the boys to one day, right? So I'm like I'm like fucking like $500 a month. I'm put it this way, I'm in the negative, and I love it. So that's something that's not going to get dropped. So I got to start training. And Matt was sick anyways, and Justin's been my boy for more than a decade, and probably one of the best black belts in Ontario. Crew G, as you know, Nick is the bad man Muay Thai and good boxing and just a solid gym. And I've trained there so much that it made sense. It's only 20 minutes from my house, and they've also got Crackathon 6 a.m. so I can go and smash all my training and be done by 7:30, 8 o'clock, which is awesome. And then get back to my office in 10 minutes after I shower there. So again, it's setting things up, right? It's making tougher decisions sometimes in order to make it easier to hit all of these things and, be a better man by the end of the year. Weights and cardio, MAFA, and then plan. Plan down to the meal, buy, prep food. That's weekly because I know what happens. I know where I fall off every time. I'll fast. I'll be rocking. Then all of a sudden something hit, right? And I'll eat those like bison. I get some good bison sticks and things like that. I'll eat at the office. And I'll come home at like whatever time before I gotta go teach, and I'm a fucking savage. I'll eat shit. I'll eat carbs. I'll eat all these things. I'll eat junk, just because I'm like ready to die. I've trained like at least once that day, and so I know that's poor planning, lack of discipline, and just chasing insulin spikes and all kinds of other stuff that I don't want anyway, right? So plan. There's nobody's fault but mine, and I know it. Don't beat yourself up about it, but just don't allow yourself. If it's all planned, you got your Tupperware. If you eat, and I've been doing this, just playing with the diet. Where's that Mark Sisson book I got? 2 Meals a Day, Mark Sisson. That's a good book. He's wicked. He's the guy who came up with that zone 2. So it's like it's 180 minus your age. That's your zone 2 running pace. That's a fat burning pace. That's a good cardiovascular buildup pace. He created that. It's kind of like ketovore. You just throw a bunch of salads in and stuff now with the plant defense chemicals. You can just kind of going off that. But 2 meals a day is solid. I like the fasting anyway, so I'll continue to fast at least once or twice a week. But I'm going to be eating heavy protein, heavy fat in the morning, and then another big lunch or something like that. And then, because I find if I have like a 4-egg omelet, cheese, fucking pound of bacon, whatever, make it for the kids, make it for the family, and I smash that, then I don't even feel like eating until 2 o'clock. And that's like, we're eating that early. It's because it's satiating, the fat's good, the protein's good. And then I hit another big meal between 12 and 2, and that's it. I'm done. And then if I train or teach, I'm in a good spot where I can roll around and not get sick or like feel lethargic, keeps my energy up. And then I fast overnight, which obviously, as we know, stop eating early, you have a better sleep. Your body doesn't repair itself at night if you're busy digesting food. It can only do a few things at once, right? And well, it's doing a million things at once. But if you're digesting food, it's like when you eat that huge meal, you have a shit sleep, and then you wake up starving. We don't want that. And so that I'm just changing, because what I do is I usually fast all day and eat dinner or do something or make some crazy things, and it's just no good. So I'm making that switch for myself. Yep. Daily, my daily tasks, never miss a class. They're not optional. Work with solid sparring partners, which are all over the place. Get one session completed every AM before 8 a.m. That's just something that is a daily task for me. So that, let's just say I go and I train in the morning at 6 in the morning at like a math class, or I'm at the gym or doing whatever. Even if something comes up, we got a big meeting or something, and it's Junaid or Nick calls me. He's like, "Hey, we got to go somewhere at like 3 o'clock." All right. And I got to have my gi in the car and go teach. I'm not going to probably get that session in that second session, or maybe that meal, that proper meal. I'm eating on the fly. All of these things create a situation where I can do all of it. And it doesn't matter. Workout's done, food's done. So it's just setting myself up not to fail. eat clean, follow the plan. And then the action is just simply, maybe just a couple minutes, do the work. Do the work is the action plan. Fucking as simple as that. There's no magic pill. Pre-workout's pretty sweet. I do enjoy that. Especially, I'll give you that one tip too. If you don't take pre-workout, because I'm sure we'll find out in a few years, it's killing us all anyway. But take the pre-workout. If you're having that day where you're like, haven't been training, or you've been slacking, or you need to get back after it, take the pre-workout, man. Take it for a few days, even if you don't like taking it, because they're gonna be sweet workouts. It's gonna get you motivated. And if you don't train, you'll start getting those tingles, and they feel weird. So you gotta pump them out. That's that physical goal. And you'll notice all of these really follow those pillars, right? Professional, physical, dietary, mental, family. Those pillars, man, I did not create those pillars by mistake. Those are literally, if you keep those in balance, you can't do anything but have a good life. So I have a #1 human optimization business in the world that ties into the Avail Academy, that ties into the seminars I've been doing for almost a decade all over the place. And it really comes from a place that it started selfishly. I'm just hacking myself, man. How am I going to win? And all these things I'm sharing with you and teach, and get to fly around and do all kinds of stuff and see cool places that I've been able to do for those years is based on me checking myself, checking my own laziness, checking my own discipline, checking my own bad habits, and then setting myself up to keep advancing every single year, making more, growing more, being more. And so I get it, I build it, I test it. Some works, some doesn't. And then I just kind of created these things, gave it away for free with Vegas Flow, and just will continue to do that. Obviously, I get paid for some things, but it's not really about that. I want to continue doing this, and I find myself, I do better when I have these people and I can give and test things, and so part of the charmed life. But I do want to have the #1 business. So quarterly, we put on big life-altering seminars, 1 a quarter. Build out new sales, leadership, and training programs. That's again right on me, on the team. I have a lot of talented people around me. Matt Magnus is a stud. So working with him, working with some other guys I know kind of in that industry, working with the CEO of the CPSA, Sandro. I actually met Sandro. They're partnering with the Avail Academy. I'm sure I've told you this. They're getting us being accredited by the government of Canada as a higher learning institute. When you guys do the academy, the guys that already have it, for the Cole and the people that don't have their thing, you do the academy, you leave there, you've got your Rebo license, you're ready to sell insurance. You've got a designation that's recognized throughout Canada as a professional sales designation. And that is because Sandro, I was asked to do a seminar for the CPSA a few years ago, and Sandro, who's the CEO, happened to join it, and then just fucking loved it, and we kind of became friends after that. And through putting in the work and giving of myself, I ended up making a great friend, who then comes back 3 years later with my Avail Academy idea, and he's like, Dave, I want to get behind it. We put the full force of our national association behind you. We'll partner on it, and then now we're doing this one in Canada with the launch, which you guys all know about, and the next one's in Tennessee 120 days later, because we're opening it up to all 50 states, and we're going to have some of my partners will be there virtually, and then we're going to be bringing this thing right through the states, which is another awesome way to get that footprint in the US, because Canada is a weirdo place, so I want to be able to travel freely. So, and not travel freely, have places freely that I can go to and live. So anyways, that's good. And create long form videos on me again quarterly. I'm shooting content now. I've got this stuff. I got to just kind of do it. It always feels weird to be on video, and I'm sure you look at yourself, you're like, this, so, you look so stupid, but that's just human nature, right? And just make the shit, put it out, and if it helps people, it's a good thing. And then speaking on stage quarterly. So I'll be on stage. COVID kind of stopped me being there physically for a couple of years. I'll get back out on stage. Is a lot of fun. Create content, always meet with the CPSA partners, to make sure we're on the right track, and you really utilize them, because you got full LMS systems, full digital, modularized stuff. So, I'm not going to recreate any wheels or any content I don't need to create if it's already been done by greater people than I. And then market the shit out of the academy, because that's what you need to do. Weekly, 7 posts weekly. I find, days like yesterday, sometimes I'm just blasting on there just because it's like sometimes I just get in the mood and I didn't get to train. So, I'm blasting liberals and Trudeau and all kinds of different people online. And it's fun to be a troll king. Ugh. I get some laughs out of it. But in reality, 7 posts. I do them. I'll tell you when I do them. And when I build any content just for posts on Instagram or now on LinkedIn or any of those, I do them when I'm doing my warm-up cardio because I find it super boring. So I can literally warm up on the treadmill while making reels, and then all of a sudden, like, the thing stops and my warm-up's done, and then I can get to work. I've found that's a great time because I'm not wasting any time doing it. 2 academy posts on LinkedIn, capture everything daily, provide true value to all the people in my charge. So that's, you know what I mean? That's me. If I'm slipping and I'm not giving you guys what you need, please let me know. And then action, just record it because, you'll find a lot of gold and sometimes you just record and shit and it ends up being real cool. Completing 1 amazing adventure per year. This one's short. It's pretty easy. Quarterly plan, involve the team, pick the spot quarterly, monthly, research and plan, action, buy tickets. I'm aligning all my year adventure. I'm always aligning with our sales trip for Avail. So, and obviously everyone on here is welcome and invited to all of those things. I think if I had my way, most people on this call will be Avalians by 2024 anyway. But that's it, man. We're doing adventure. All of our stuff, like a lot of sales trips are complete kind of bullshit. Usually at companies, you go hang out with a bunch of people you don't fucking want to spend time with during the day. Now you get to vacation with them. Super weird. And then you usually go to some bum ass all-inclusive where you sit around like a bunch of losers. What we're going to do is Thailand trip for kickboxing, jiu-jitsu trip to Rio. We're going to go climb a fucking mountain. We're doing this kind of stuff. And you telling me we go climb a mountain this year or do something crazy or go, hit Whistler and hike up those and drop into that powder like Lazar and I did. You've seen that video, I should post it. Lazar and I doing breath work in the fucking clouds. You're telling me that's not going to be more bonding than, drinking Mai Tais? It will be. And so I get to use that goal while still rewarding the people that I work with and then creating memories and building strong bonds with the team. So like I said, again, going back to involving every aspect of your life and finding great ways to intertwine them and create. Boom, we're almost there. My wife and I are deeply connected. Now, this is a big one, and I'm going to actually show you guys how you're going to be able to involve your wives in these things. I've not always been the best at this. I'm actually fucking terrible at it, and it's one of the things. Funny enough, you're on here on the second with me. My wife and I spent an hour with my coach, who's out of the US, New Year's Day, because he sets calls at 8 a.m. New Year's Day. Because you're not fucking drinking and being a loser. You're going to be up and ready to go. And that time is valuable because let me tell you, that's $7,000 every 6 weeks. And that's because it's 6,000 and it's US. So whatever the fuck that ends up being, it's expensive, but it's worth every penny because I think you should have a coach, right? And so, but again, this is kind of taking this up to the next level. I know where I'm lacking, so I know what I need to invest in. And I don't look at any of that money ever as poorly spent. I spend the fuck out of that stuff on myself because that's how you can become better. And when you're coaching people, you need to be coached. There's always there's always a smarter man in the room. And it's just powerful stuff, right? I'm taking a trip out to see them actually for something in into January as well, right? Like just dive right in, and because it matters and it makes a big difference. And it's this different level where it's like, okay, you're here, you lead people, you've done this, you've been uber successful. Now I'm sitting in a room with people, that are worth like $50 million. And so you don't get to sit in that room with them and learn how they run their lives and what they're doing and have that stuff without investing heavily, because nor should you, right? There's kind of what do you want to call it? It's like a tax on spending time with people of high value. And whether that tax is paid by your interest, your involvement, your energy you give, your hustle. There's many forms of compensation and many forms of value that you can give, but this one happens to just be lots of American money. But anyways, the point of that story is we were on there doing this together, and one of the things we were doing is, okay, yeah, you know how to lead, you know how to build your own goals. Now, how do you implement your family, your wife first and foremost, or girlfriend or partner or whatever? And I've been very bad at that. like over the years. And I just go and I crush and I'm like, boom, okay. It's fantastic if you help make it a little bit nicer with some cheese and all these things. I'm doing the shit regardless, whether my throat's dry or not. And that's kind of been the attitude. And that's not the attitude to have. So by the end of this, I'll get to why it's important. But anyways, quarterly, awesome 3-day lovers retreats. I got to throw those in quarterly. They're sweet. St. Anne's Spa is a favorite of ours. Just getting out, man, getting away from the kids, just getting that personal time. Monthly, 2 solid date nights. I could have said that weekly, but I knew I was going to write that, but I knew that was bullshit because I knew it was just not humanly possible. So it's monthly, and those will be, and just make them solid. Weekly, team led better goal setting, man. It's goal setting and sharing your goals with the person, the friends. Like, we're gonna all do it together, but if you have a significant other or someone that you can do that with, share it. Weekly recaps on Friday night, and then that goes down to the daily, which is phones away at 8, and I'm terrible at that as well. I need to put the phone away. Quality time every evening. Active listening is a big one. Love notes and videos, which we talked about earlier. Action is nurture and water the grass daily, man. Water the grass daily. That's the magic of that one. Now, the last one was impact millions of lives around the world. And that's why this one is written here. And it's basically fucking see the other 7. Because if I do all this stuff right and I do it all with the best team on the planet and the best crew and the best group of brothers, we're going to end up hitting 1 million people, I guarantee you. So now with this, and I'm sure where am I? I'm an hour and 5. I'll always go a little over. But this is the key that I want you to leave with, and I want you to do this. And I want you to do this with each other. If you have a partner or spouse, do this. If you are doing it, I'll even give an example like Junaid and Nick, right? You guys are kind of entering this journey at the same time. It's beautiful, man. You guys are going to be super tight, and it's really important to be able to lean on somebody. Make that mission statement, okay? This is going to be your mission statement for 2023. Now, the way I did it was, I can't pull it up now because the phone's recording, but Nicole, after our Zoom we were on yesterday, Nicole, she just got a goal setter. She doesn't do that. Like, she's not part of her DNA. But within 40 minutes after that call, she had her fucking boom, the whole year, all of her goals done. And what I did was I took my goals and I take her goals. She shared her goals with me. And then I blend them together to create the mission statement for my family for this year. That mission statement will be plastered here every single day. So I'm going to share it with you. And it's a mix of hers and mine, okay? And it's basically ingesting, digesting, and then blending the two. So you can imagine how much better you work with somebody when both of you are working for exactly the same goal, or you're blending in things that matter to each other to make sure that the whole unit is working properly. Okay, mission statement 2023. 2023 will be our biggest year yet. We will continue to grow our happy and healthy family in every way. We will lead by example in diet, service, loving communication, and mutual respect. Our physical and emotional connection will provide, now this is from things that, I'm blending both here. Our physical and emotional connection will provide me the peace needed in our home to go out and own the outside world. This is a game-changing year for the Ledbetters. Positive micro adjustments daily at home will produce the momentum to not only create the biggest and best brokerage on the planet, built on service, but affect the world. It will take discipline, strength, mutual support, and love. But in the end, and most importantly, it will be done. We have always been blessed by God, and with that, we won't falter. No weapon forged against us will prosper. And as always, we will change the world together and live in full abundance in every aspect of our lives as we continue to give to all freely. That is a family mission statement that will trickle down to my children. That will, be something to look at when these 16-hour days take their toll, when the communication breaks down, when the myriad of things that will go on in 2023 that you need to power through. You can go back to that mission statement. You can check yourself for that mission statement. You can, and this can go for all of us, any of us, you can, Zoran shares his mission statement with me. And in April, I see he's just bullshitting. I haven't heard from him in a week. He, you know what I mean? Maybe he's off in Windsor on 7 dates at once. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna be hating. I'm always cheering for him. I always want the videos. But what I will do is I'll call him back to his mission statement and be like, bro, let me read something to you. Does this sound like the life you're living right now? Does this sound like you're honoring this? Is this what you're up to? And it could be as simple as a 3-minute conversation, reading out his own mission statement that will get the boat back on course. So I suggest you pick someone, you know, Chris, Richard, do them together, do them with your wives, create mission statements, man. Like everyone, do this. This is what's going to be like. Imagine, you know, think of everything you know has a marketing, has a pitch, has a sound bite. This is what we love, man. So you got to tie something. You got to have this core value and this, you know, it's sort of a stand for nothing, fall for anything. This mission statement will be your guiding light. These goals will be your guiding light. This group will be the guiding light that will keep you in check. And I'm telling you, boys, this will be the best 2023 of our lives. Thank you for hopping on here with me. It's been an hour and 10 minutes. So I hope that there was some value. You know, this is the goal week. We've got a short week. Junaid, Nick, we're opening the office not tomorrow, the next day, the 4th. We're back. Just tomorrow is like some cleanup stuff, getting stuff ready for you guys to come in. It's gonna be obviously a short week just for everybody. A lot of people in our industry are off, right? People take this time with their families. It's great. Go have a great day with your families. Tweak these goals. Have these goals ready. You know, we're not going to ask for anything kind of this week. Build this out. Use this map, and then let's share this next weekend. Let's make sure that our weekly goals on Sunday mirror and align with what we plan on doing for 2023. Work on the mission statement. Talk to your wives, your girlfriends. Talk to each other, you know, and blend them in, man, and make sure everybody's on the same page. And you know, if not, you know, graciously bow out. There's no judgment. If you're not, you know what I mean? It's been cool. I know it's been a holiday. In my mind, you know, can't really take a holiday from life, but obviously can't be a psycho either. And I've been accused of that. So we're not going to, there is no judgment for over the holidays. You're in, you're out, you're doing what you're doing. But come Sunday night, you know, have these done, be ready, you know, check in with the boys and let's get after 2023, man. It's gonna be a big year. We're gonna make lots of money, big changes, and it's gonna be fucking beautiful. And that's all I got. Boys, thank you.
Beautiful, sir. Thank you.
Get after it, baby.
Cheers, boys.
Right.
See you, buddy.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
See you, brothers.
Good night, buddy. See you guys.